It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary.
Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary, hosted by me, Spencer. This is episode F159, and yes, I am recording back-to-back episodes, but between the back-to-backness, I recorded some lines, some more Weird Al lines, for Steve Goody's show, tribute show to Weird Al and Daniel Radcliffe. And of course, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Steve has been on a couple of episodes in the past, and it's a little straining to get into the Al voice, and so I'm a little strained at the moment. But I must persevere and record more episodes of the Dictionary, which is the podcast that you are listening to right now. And if you did not know, you can watch this show on YouTube because there is beautiful video. Look at how beautiful this is. All right, we must talk about the words now. More folk words, starting with folk medicine. 2 words. Noun from 1878. Let's push the book up here so we can see the words better. Folk medicine is traditional medicine as practiced non-professionally, especially by people isolated from modern medical services, and usually involving the use of plant-derived remedies on an empirical basis. So, what does that mean? Let's go backwards. Empirical basis means that they have tried the things and studied what they do, and they have seen the results, and so they adjust, they keep on using it, whatever it is, it's based on what they have observed. That empirical basis is what they observed when using these plant-derived remedies. Those are things from plants. I think that's pretty obvious. Let's see. So they're they're not near maybe the big hospital places. Would you call Eastern medicine folk medicine? I guess some people might. I don't know, because they do use a lot of plant or animal-derived remedies, and they have seen the results, and so they're still using them. I think that there is a lot of benefit to using these medicinal plants. They are there, I don't know, I don't want to say for a reason, but I think that the older generations of humans, and maybe even some animals, are using these things. I don't know, for some reason, these plants have these natural capabilities to help certain things. Here at the office, we have some aloe plants. You know, that's like you break it open and there's this soothing gel inside. What is the point of aloe otherwise? It's such an interesting thing to think about. Why does this gel exist if not to assist in some soothing way? Do animals eat it? I don't know. I'm sure people have studied this, and it's a fascinating thing. And there's a whole bunch of different kinds of plants out there that are doing different things, and you use them in folk medicine. All right, now let's make a sound effect. Let's go broop, broop. Now we have folk moot. One word. Moot is M-O-O-T. By the way, I think my side lights are going to die in this episode. I forgot to charge them, so if you've got a keen eye, look out for that. It might not be that hard to spot. Folk moot, or folk mote, M-O-T-E, is a noun from before the 12th century. It is a general assembly of the people in early England. And where might these people be? They might be living on a shire. And as an American, I automatically think of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit when I think of a shire, but the word came from somewhere. It came from people in England many years ago living in a place called a shire. And so the hobbits said, you know what, we want to use that word. We would like to live in a shire. I want to live in a shire? Come on, don't you? So the people who live there, they're getting together, they're having a meeting called a folk moot or a folk mote. And I assume moat and moot are related to meat, so let's look at the etymology. Let's see, alternative of Old English folk moat, or folk moot, or folk, so that's folk, which is people, we know that. plus moot or gumote, which means meeting. Yes, that's what it is. And there's more at the word moot. So now I think that when your town is having one of those meetings that they do with the, like the city council or whatever, I think they should be called folk moots. I think that's really the only thing that we can do. Folk moot. Let's have a good old-fashioned folk moot. Bloop, bloop. Next is folk singer. One word, noun from 1884. One who sings folk songs or sings in a style associated with folk songs. So maybe you're not literally singing a folk song, but you're just singing in the style. Maybe you're singing one of those heavy metal songs. What's that one that I just heard yesterday that everybody knows? Enter Sandman. And now, of course, when I need to think of it, I can't think of how it goes. Dave, sleep with one eye open. But you're singing it in the style of folk. Sleep with one eye open. Ba-da-da-ba-da-boo. Folk singer, because you're singing folk-like. Folk singing is a noun, and of course, we know all of the etymology. But let's do a quick little look. About, list of folk singers. Of course, there's, here we go, folk singers, way down here in the list, because I don't want to type it. Here are sources from across the web. We have Bob Dylan, Joni Mitchell, Joan Baez, Pete Seeger, Judy Collins, Woody Guthrie, John Prine, Gordon Lightfoot, Cat Stevens, Leonard Cohen, James Taylor, Gillian Welch. Wow, this list goes on and on and on. Doc Watson, Leadbelly, Buffy St. Marie, John Denver, Anita Carter, Donovan, Odetta, Joan Armatrading? How do you say that? Armatrading? Neil Young, Emmylou Harris, Tom Paxson, Janice Ian, Phil Oakes, Eric Anderson, Harry Belafonte, Dave Van Ronk. I mean, I don't know if 100% of these are fully folky, or maybe they were at one point. This list goes on. We're not going to read the whole list. It would be fun, but we're not going to. I read a lot. Folk singers, I know most of those people. All right, now we're going to go romp. Next is folk song. One word, noun from 1847. A traditional or composed song, typically characterized in stanzaic form, refrain, and simplicity of melody. So the melody is very simple. Maybe it's very repetitive. Bob Dylan songs, some of them, I guess, have a simple melody, but some of them I feel like get a little not so simple, maybe a little bit more complex than some, of course, the typical one that I sang in the previous episode is If I Had a Hammer. It's a very repetitive thing. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer on the evening. Ba 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 dibba doo, ba 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 dibba doo boo ba boo. And then you do it again with different words. Stanzaic form, it's in stanzas, sections, right? Verses, there's a refrain, a chorus. You sing a verse, you sing a stanza, and then you sing the chorus. And then you sing another stanza, and then you sing the chorus, and it's all in a simple melody. I really don't know a ton of folk music. I just know the ones that they taught you when you were young in school. Maybe a few other ones. I should learn some more. I should do lots of things. Brum, brum. Next is folksy. Folksy, adjective from 1852. Number 1, the synonyms are sociable and friendly. I would like to think that I am sociable and friendly. I think I am. I am a bit of an introvert, but I can also be very extroverted, especially when there's nobody around and it's just me and the mic and the camera. We are very extroverted together. Folksy, yeah, you can call me folksy. Why not? Especially when I'm singing folk songs about hammering. He had the whole world in his hands. He's so big. Okay, folk. We're on folksy. Number 2, informal, casual, or familiar in manner or style, as in folksy humor. That humor is so familiar to me. I love that kind of humor. I get it. I understand it. It's also very casual and informal. That's my favorite kind of humor. It's not formal. What would formal humor be? Folksily is an adverb, and folksiness is a noun. I got so much folksiness. Prompt, prompt. Next is folktale, noun from 1852. A characteristically anonymous, timeless, and placeless tale circulated orally among a people, and maybe it is being circulated among a folk people. A group of people is a folk people. Anonymous, timeless, and placeless. Where? When is it happening? We don't know any of the people. We don't know where it's happening, when it's happening. Maybe it's in a galaxy far, far away. Maybe it's not. I don't know. It's a folktale. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when or where. It's just a tale. It's just a story to maybe teach you about something. Would the boy who cried wolf, would that be a folk tale because it's teaching a lesson, a moral? There's a moral in it. Who cares when it happened? It might have happened right here. It might have happened down the street. It's a folk tale. But it's anonymous too? Anonymous. Because it doesn't matter who the people are. They could be, it's the characteristics of their personalities don't really matter. I guess they matter a little bit. But it's more about the story. I guess their personalities play a little bit into that. Okay, that was folktale. Now we got folkway. Folkway. I am doing a little bit of an L sound. I guess I can't help it. Noun from circa 1906. This is a mode of thinking, feeling, or acting common to a given group of people, especially a traditional social custom. What is the way that they do things? Those traditional common folk people. The way that they do things is their folk way. Their thinking, their feeling, the way that they act, maybe their arts and crafts. Prompt. Next is, okay, we're done with the folk words. We're done with the folk words, and we got to get into some other words because that's how the alphabets go. We now have follicle. Follicle. And yes, my voice is getting raw. Can you imagine back in the day, I used to record 4 episodes in a row? I got to drink some hot stuff. Now, granted, those episodes were not as long as they are now, but still, that was a lot. All right, follicle is a noun from 1646. Number 1A, a small anatomical cavity or deep, narrow-mouthed depression. A hole in a thing, and it's anatomical, so it's in a body, a living body of some kind. Or it's a deep, narrow-mouthed depression, like a ditch on your body. I got one of them body ditches called a follicle. All right, we got more, though. 1B, a small lymph node. Could be called a follicle as well. Well, I know you got the lymph nodes here, and I think there's lymph nodes like all over the body. So those are follicles? 1C, a vesicle in the mammalian ovary that contains a developing egg surrounded by a covering of cells, especially the synonym Graafian follicle. And Graafian has 2 A's next to each other. It's probably named after a person. So a vesicle in the mammalian ovary that contains a developing egg. So I don't know enough about vesicle. I mean, I've heard that word so much, but it holds the egg, this follicle. Well, if it holds the egg, then it's a cavity of some kind because it has a depression in it. It has a space to hold the egg. And so, yeah, and it's in the body. It's anatomical, so yeah, it's a follicle. Anatomical vesicle follicle. All right, now we got, what else? We got number 2. A dry, dehiscent, one-celled, many-seeded fruit that has a single carpel and opens along one suture. One seam, one spot is where it opens from. Now, we have an example, milkweed. would be an example of a follicle. And I do think I'm going to look up a picture of milkweed, but I do think if it is what I think it is, then it's like a pod, and I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Let's look up these pictures of milkweed. Well, these are mostly flowers, but there is this one that is this sort of spiky, long pod kind of thing. And there's another picture where it has opened and there's these fluffy things coming out of it. And I think it just pops open in one part. And so, it's holding things inside of it. So that makes sense. It's a follicle. Let's read that again. A dried dehiscent, one-celled, many-seeded fruit. So it's a fruit. It has many seeds inside. And yeah, this picture looks like there's a lot of seeds coming out of it. And it only has one cell? Is it literally a cell? I don't know. That's interesting. Okay, that is follicle. Now, follicular is an adjective. Let's minimize this page over here. And I think that there might be some etymology. Let's take a look. This is Latin folliculus, which is a diminutive of the word follis, the Latin word follis, which means bag. That's what it is, because you hold stuff in your bag. The milkweed is like the bag for the seeds. If you are carrying around your bag, it holds stuff in it. Maybe there's a lot of eggs in there. Seeds, it's a follicle. I'm just gonna take my follicle to the store and put my stuff in the follicle. Don't know why we're not calling bags follicles. All right, now, there's more at the word fool for some reason. Fool. I guess we'll get some interesting definitions for the word fool. Oh, we got some interesting words coming up. Okay, now we are going to go frump. Next we have follicle mite. And I don't like where this is going, but let's talk about it. It is a noun from 1925. Any of several minute mites. Parasitic in hair follicles. So this is not just on the hairs. This is in the follicle. They get in the follicle. The follicle is the cavity, the thing at the top of your skin. Could be up on your scalp. It could be anywhere because we got hair all over the place. There is a tiny little hole where the hair grows out of. And these little mites, they like to get into the follicle. Why? What are they doing in there? I don't like them. The genus name for these is Demodex. That's kind of interesting. That's an interesting word, Demodex. Yeah, follicle mites. Oh, now my hair is getting all itchy because we're talking about mites. I don't like this. Let's move on to frump. Now we have follicle stimulating hormone. Follicle stimulating has a hyphen, and then there's the word hormone. Noun from circa 1943. This is a hormone produced by the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland that stimulates the growth of the ovum-containing follicles in the ovary and activates sperm-forming cells. The abbreviation is FSH. Fish. Those fishes. So, the pituitary gland. I always get this mixed up. Is that the one that's inside of the brain? Yeah, because I think the thyroid might be in your throat. So yeah, inside the center of your brain is the pituitary gland, and there's a part of it on the back part of the pituitary gland, still inside the center of your head. This is where these hormones are coming from. They're being sent to the body, but specifically, they're being sent to, I guess, your gonad region, right? We got the gonads that are making the eggs and the sperms, and stimulates the growth of the ovum-containing follicles. Well, we know that the follicles contain the eggs in the people with those parts. That's in the ovary. And activates sperm-forming cells. And sperms are constantly being created and formed every day, every hour, maybe even every second. I don't know. Those hormones, And those people are just going crazy. Oh my God, we got to make more sperm. We got to send more fishes out to make more sperm constantly, all the time. Yeah, it's stimulating the follicles to do their job. What happens if you don't have this? Is that even possible? I don't know. Probably. Bodies do weird things. Then I guess you're not gonna, maybe the eggs aren't gonna pop out. Maybe you're not gonna make sperm. Maybe you're not gonna make great sperm. Maybe you're gonna make crappy sperm. I don't know. Lots of possibilities. Bodies do weird stuff. That should be a shirt, I think. Now, let's move on to frump frump. We now have folliculitis. Folliculitis. It is a noun from circa 1860. This is inflammation of one or more follicles, especially of the hair. Maybe not the ovary or testicle sperm follicles, the hair follicles. I have lots of hair, and I would rather not have the folliculitis because I don't want this whole region to be inflamed. How does this happen? Why does this happen? What can you do about it? Can you do anything about it? I really don't want my follicles to be inflamed. Inflamed? Folliculitis. All right, now we are going to move on to our last word, and we're going to do something a little bit rare. It has happened. The synonym information is going to be in the next episode, but I'm going to get through all of these definitions for the first form of the word follow. F-O-L-L-O-W. And there's a lot of definitions and some phrases. So number one. Oh, this is a verb, I should say, from before the 12th century, starting with transitive. Number one, to go, proceed, or come after. So if you're just going, you're following. If you're preceding something, it's proceeding. But are you before a thing, you're following. Or you're coming after a thing, you are following. After these messages, there will be a following show. The example is followed the guide. When you are on a hike, maybe in a dangerous place, a place you've never been, you should probably follow the guide. Maybe you shouldn't be in front. You should not be the one who's guiding everybody because you don't know what you're doing. You need to follow the guide. They know. I have to call out the very silly line in Bob's Burgers when the kid, Gene, was dressed up as Bob, I think, and he was following Bob around, and Bob is trying to get him to stop doing that, and then Gene says, "Stop following me in front," because Bob is in front, but that's not following. His back is, yeah. Stop following me in front. Now we have 2A for follow is to engage in as a calling or way of life. The synonym is pursue. Ooh, we're getting into some real stuff here. The example is wheat growing is generally followed here. This is not quite the example that I was thinking we would get. To engage in as a calling or way of life. You're pursuing a thing. It's like your calling. It is you're following your path. We all can't help but follow our path. Wheat growing is generally followed here because this is what the people know. The folk here who live here, they grow wheat. That's what they know. So they follow that. Number 2B is to walk or proceed along, as in follow a path. If you want a path, you follow it. I don't know where we're going with that. You're just walking or proceeding along the path, and you're following it. Where does the path go? Let's follow it. Ooh, the Yellow Brick Road. Follow the Yellow Brick Road. Hee hee. Number 3A, to be or act in accordance with, as in follow directions. I'm very good at following directions. You tell me what to do, you give me some specific directions, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. If I don't have directions, everything might fall apart. So I would very much like to have directions to follow, which is why I like this because it's all sort of laid out for me. You read a thing and you talk about it. You read a thing and you talk about it. It's like, here you go. If I don't have some sort of map or directions to follow, I'm just so screwed. I have to shout out the movie, the Sesame Street movie, Follow That Bird, which I have not seen since I was a kid, but I would like to rewatch it because it's a very weird movie. Follow that bird, follow that cab, follow that snake, follow that path. Number 3B is to accept as authority. The synonym is obey, as in followed his conscience. Your conscience is trying to tell you things, but sometimes you're like, shut up, conscience. I'm not going to follow you today. I'm going to follow that bird. Number 4A, to pursue in an effort to overtake. Oh, like maybe the NASCAR cars are following a car because they want to be first. They want to be ahead of that car, so they're following them because they want to overtake that car. They're going to jump over it. Number 4B, to seek to attain. You're trying to attain something, to get something, and you're seeking it out. The example is follow knowledge. I'm just going to follow the knowledge. Wherever the knowledge takes me, I'm going to follow, and I'm going to learn more things. I'm following the knowledge of this book in order. In order. Sometimes people follow the knowledge on a Wikipedia rabbit hole. They read a thing, they click a link, it takes them somewhere else. They read that thing, they click a link, it takes them to somewhere else, because there's so many links in Wikipedia. It's like the linkiest website. Number 5 is to come into existence or take place as a result or consequence of, as in disaster followed the blunder. Ooh, yeah. What happened? What did they do? They blundered something and then that disaster happened? There was an earthquake because of their blunder? Every time I think of disasters, I think of SimCity 2000 because there were a lot of disasters. That shows my age. I think I played another SimCity after that, and I think I tried The Sims, but I didn't, it either didn't click or I was just busy with lots of other things. What was that other SimCity game? Was there a SimCity 3000? I can't remember, but yes, disasters. That was a thing that happened. So to come into existence or take place as a result or consequence of. So something happens, and then something else happens because it follows. It's the cause and effect. The effect of the thing follows the cause because that's how time goes. Yeah, that's how it goes. The disaster followed the blunder. Now we have 6A. To come or take place after in time, sequence, or order. Right? It's just one thing after another. Episode F160 will follow this podcast after I record it and edit it and post it and air it. Now, where are we? I think we're on 6B. To cause to be followed. Ooh. As in dinner. No, follow dinner with a liqueur. You are causing the liqueur to be... Wait, to cause to be followed. Oh, that hurts my brain. To cause to be followed. Okay, but yes, follow dinner with a liqueur. After dinner, you might want to have a little drink if you are of that age and personality. You might want a liqueur. Follow dinner with a liqueur. Number 7, to copy after, and the synonym is imitate. You're just following what they did, imitating it, aping it, doing the same thing in the same way. Number 8A, to watch steadily, as in followed the flight of the ball. You are watching the ball fly through the air. If it's a baseball pitcher or batter, you are going to follow it very fast. The pitch is like, you gotta follow it very closely. You might not even be able to see it. It's very hard to follow. Basketball might be a little bit easier to follow. Football, soccer, those are easier to follow, I think. Literally, the flight of the ball. Number 8B, to keep the mind on, like on a thing, as in follow a speech. Sometimes it's hard for me to follow speeches because my mind wanders. Number 8C, to attend closely to, and also keep abreast of, as in followed his career with interest. There are people who are paying attention to what he is doing, what his career is. Why is he doing those things? Who are these people? Why are they following me? Are they the FBI? Are they the CIA? Are they the KGB? MI6? Stop following me. Stop following my career. I guess if you are a regular listener of this podcast, you are following my journey of doing this, following me, following the words, following whatever is happening in relation to it, maybe following some of the guests, especially if they come back. Maybe if you like what they had to say, then you should go follow them on social media or their website or whatever places you can follow them. But don't do it in person. Maybe that's a little stalkery, don't you think? I think we got one more for 8. 8D is to understand the sense or logic of, and the example of what that is would be a line of thought. Oh, sometimes it's very hard for me to follow somebody else's line of thought, especially if they're sort of jumping around. Oh, I can't keep track. I can't follow you. Sometimes I can't even follow my own line of thought. But I do like it when you hear something, you're talking about something, and then you get off on a tangent, or it'll spark something in my brain, and in my brain I go down a train of thoughts, and then I'm like, how did I even get there? And then I have to follow the chain or train back, like, oh, that's why I thought that, and that's why I thought that, and I go all the way back, like, oh, that was the original thought. And I have to do that sometimes when I think of something, and I'm like, ooh, I got to do a thing because of that, but then I get distracted, and I'm like, wait, there was something I was going to do, and then I have to go back and follow it. I'm like, oh, right, that was the thing I was going to do. I'm glad I followed my thoughts. Now we have intransitive. Whew. Number 1, to go or come after a person or thing in place, time, or sequence. To go after. So this is the thing that's coming after the other things in place, time, or sequence. The show follows the commercials. Number 2, to result or occur as a consequence, effect, or inference. There's no example. To result or occur. So this is the thing that is following the original thing that made it happen. It follows the thing. When the person, let's not use for some reason I go to bad things in my brain. When somebody bakes a pie, the result, the following thing, is me eating the pie. Me eating the pie follows the baking of the pie. There we go. That's a good one. Let's talk about some phrases. As follows is the first one. That means as comes next. Sure. And this is used impersonally. As follows. As follows. What's going to come next? As follows. These are the words I'm going to say. Follow one's nose. Number 1. To go in a straight or obvious course. The nose is more than likely right there in the center of your face, pointing forward, so just follow your nose. Just go straight. Don't turn your head. Never, never, never turn your head. If you do, go that way. That's where your nose is going. Follow your nose. Number 2, to proceed without plan or reflection, and also obey one's instincts. So this is like you're not making a plan. You're just like, hey, what does your nose want to do? Wherever your head goes, if the wind moves your head, if there's a smell and I like that smell, I'm going to follow that, and I'm going to go without a plan. We're just going to go see where my nose takes us. The next and last phrase is follow suit, S-U-I-T. Number 1, to play a card of the same suit as the card led. Now, we are literally talking about a card game. If, I don't know, maybe bridge or something like that, that's where suits are more important. You play that suit down, maybe it's clubs, and then the next person is going to follow suit. I'm going to follow suit, literally. I'm going to put down the same suit that you did. But also, we got number 2, to follow an example set. So we are not playing cards here. We're just following in the same idea, the same vein as what that person did. we want to follow suit. We want to do a similar thing. I don't believe I was following suit when I made this podcast. Was not aware of anybody else doing a dictionary podcast. So I made the suit, and then I wore the suit. Okay, that is it. Is there etymology that we need to say? Let's see. It's really from Old High German folgen, which means to follow, and that's it. So now I must pick a word of the episode. Today we had folk medicine, folk moot, folk singer, folk song, folksy, folktale, folkway, follicle mite, blech, follicle stimulating hormone, folliculitis, and follow. I think I shall pick folk moot as the word of the episode. I believe in Lord of the Rings, back to that, the Ents, the tree creatures, they have an Ent moot, which is where they get together and meet for, I don't know, days or weeks possibly. So, folk moot. Getting together with my people. We're having a folk moot. Talking about what we're gonna do for dinner. That's a folk moot. Well, since I just recorded the previous episode, so this episode recording immediately followed the previous recording, I have not seen any movies, and so I cannot talk about that. But I believe tonight we might watch Blue Velvet and I think something else. So I'm going to end this episode also because my voice is very raw, and I got other stuff to do. This has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.